Welcome to the Phillips 66 Big 12 Women's Championship for just the 8th time since 1997. 26 years of this tournament, the 10 seed knocked off the 7 seed last night. That was TCU celebrating, moving on. And tonight we get our first look at co-champions in the Big 12 and overall 2 seed Oklahoma in the third of the quarterfinal matchups today, day number 2. Already 2 games in the books. It was a great one to begin the day. Oklahoma State with a buzzer beater over West Virginia. Texas gets over a slow start. That is one of the semifinals. We have 2 games coming your way tonight to set you up for tomorrow's semifinals. Crowning the champ on Sunday. Thanks so much for joining us this evening. Tyler Denning, Andrea Lloyd. It's been a great 2 days thus far, but tonight we get our first look at the co-champs, the Oklahoma Sooners.
Yeah, they're a fast-paced, energetic team. They are going to get up and down the floor, second in the nation in scoring. You're going to see a fun game with them and a lot of energy. Yeah,
the story, Maddie Williams, Bedlam, which was their regular season concluding game. She plays just 4 minutes, but has a big knee brace on. We've been told she's available, good to go.
Yeah, it looks like she's going to start the game. You can see what she's averaged against TCU in the last 2 meetings. Leading scorer for Oklahoma. She's been the heart and soul since she started as a freshman at Oklahoma, so having her on the floor has to be a relief for Jenny Baranczyk.
She is their leading scorer, but the good news, they have 4 players, including her, that average in double figures, so it could be one of these 3 to help out.
And any of those 3 can put 20 up in a night. Janus is a terrific shooter. Robertson, an all-time leader in 3-pointers in the NCAA, and Van coming off the bench is especially special because she is so consistent.
And last night, Bella Cravens was huge in the victory for the Horned Frogs.
Yeah, well, TCU, the 2 words I'd use is heart and toughness. They showed a lot of it. They played terrifically defensively. Bella Cravens was stellar, I think, against Jackson. She really was physical and bodied her up. Expect her to have to do a little bit of the same today.
Yeah, we saw her get injured at one point, collision with Taiwo, but so much heart for this 10-seed TCU team that came in with just 1 conference win, but they defeat Kansas and book their spot in this matchup. Dangerous team with nothing to lose. The only way they can make the NCAA tournament is if they win this Big 12 tournament. Third quarterfinal matchup. We are underway. Oklahoma in the white tops, TCU in their black once again. Quick shot for Williams to begin is off. Rebound to Emily Fisher.
I have a feeling you're going to be saying quick shot quite a bit today. Oklahoma definitely not shy to shoot the basketball.
One of the fastest teams in the country, 99th in pace. Fisher has the ball, recollects. Manamela Una was big last night as well. TCU got contributions from everyone up and down the roster. They came out great energy in that victory. Deep shot is good, and that's what they did as well, made the 3.
Yeah, right there, Manamela Una kisses her lips and puts 3 to the ceiling.
Starting 5 for Oklahoma. Tatyanusa Williams, Robertson, and Liz Scott. For a team 2 seed in the tournament by virtue of the tiebreak with Texas. Texas won the regular season, so Oklahoma goes 24-5, 14-4 in conference play. Come in having won 2 in a row. Robertson from the corner.
Absolutely, that's what Taylor Robertson does. That's way too easy giving her that much room. I just have to add, with Oklahoma, the only team in the nation to start the same starting lineup all year.
Manamela Una, Taiwo, Bradley, Fisher, Cravens, the 5 for TCU, as these 2 teams do get up and down the floor.
Well, TCU's going to have to score if they're going to play against Oklahoma today. That's one of their weaknesses. They don't score a lot of points on average throughout the season. Yesterday was a defensive battle. The score was in the 50s. I have a feeling it'll be a bit different today.
Oklahoma put up 101 points in the last meeting between these 2 teams. That was a program record for games in the Big 12 as Cravens misses last time down she had to make. Quick back the other way. Anusa lost the handle.
Oklahoma playing man-to-man, TCU in a zone at the other end.
The Cravens who will kick out. Deep 3, Taiwo, good, great start from deep for TCU.
I'll tell you what, when TCU shoots the ball well, they're very dangerous. They haven't shot the ball well that often, which has been a part of their struggle offensively, their shooting percentages.
Yeah, they were last in the league 37.2% as Cravens picks up right where she left off, sending Scott. Quick in transition. TCU once again with the energy. Their bodies all over the floor. Players down at the other end. The ball's here. TCU with the 5-point advantage early.
Yeah, a big key yesterday for TCU was the defense that their guards played. And if they can play that kind of defense, get three-point shooting from Bradley, from Manamaliunya, from Taiwo, and even from Fisher.
Robertson trying to throw the entry pass. It was Williams on the seal. Coaches for both squads. Oklahoma led by Jenny Baranczyk in her second year. She on the right and Reagan Peebly on the left. Turn her ninth. Peebly, the story, announced February 27th she'd be stepping down. It said TCU has her heart, but felt it was time for a change. But her team has definitely done something to give her a good send-off. We don't know when that will be. Taiwo with the made three.
On an early lead here for TCU, shooting the ball extremely well. Jenny Baranczyk, just talking about her, what a terrific job she did. She's only in her second year at Oklahoma. Her first year takes her team to the NCAA tournament. They lose to Notre Dame. They had a terrific experience there, learned some things, want to get back there and make a deeper run.
That was a 13-win improvement. Second largest in OU history. She was a Naismith Coach of the Year finalist. First free throw is good. Skylar Vann, sixth player of the year in the Big 12, 2 times running.
And Vann in for Maddie Williams, who, as we know, was only going to play limited minutes here today. They want to get her on the floor, off the floor. She's not quite healed up yet. They're hoping to have her hopefully at 100% after, partially during this tournament, hopefully after the tournament.
2 fouls on Paige Bradley on the other end earlier, so something to keep an eye on for TCU. Roxanne McCullough checking in for TCU as you see Maddie Williams, the first teamer in the Big 12, third consecutive, 6th Sooner all-time to do that, unanimous. She was chosen last year, part of the Big 12 all-tournament team. So keep an eye on the 25 in white. So how much she is available for Oklahoma. Shot clock under 10. Fisher steps through on top. Cravens fighting, but 5'3" Nevaeh top with the rebound.
Yeah, smallest player on the floor just goes up and get it. That's all heart positioning.
Good swing pass. Robertson from the corner makes her second three.
Yeah, that's a tough part of playing a zone against Oklahoma is with good ball movement like Oklahoma has, you give up those shots.
Taylor Robertson, the redshirt senior from McPherson, Texas, 4-time all Big 12 player. 8th Sooner to do such. Pull-up jumper, kissed off the glass.
Yeah, McCullough was good yesterday off the bench. She's good today, starting off. Just such a great mid-range player.
Looks like that bank three we saw her make, but the shot clock winding down is fighting for the rebound. McCullough comes up with it. Cravens over the defender. Scott, no answer there.
Yeah, Scott at 6'2", a little bit smaller than yesterday's opponent at 6'6". Cravens has some room to shoot.
Turnover as Vann loses it. Taiwo back the other way. Wide open look from 3. Another make. TCU continuing to ride the momentum, the fire in the center of the court. They've made 4 threes off to a 10-point advantage, 18-8, the 10 seed. We have a good one here in the quarterfinals.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Phillips 66, proud sponsor of Big 12 basketball.
So we're here in Kansas City, Missouri, and Andrea, you know how they love their barbecue here. We had some great, delicious barbecue 2 nights ago. But if you're liking this game and you were cooking barbecue, You would say at this point, TCU, they got the smoke going.
Well, TCU's got a little bit of spice, I think, in this tournament. They have come out with great heart. And again, just the intensity, the focus, the unity that they have shown despite their circumstances. And I don't just mean because Reagan Peagley has chosen to step down after the season's over. This is a team that went 1 for 17 on the season. And you can see the two matchups, how those went with OU. OU just dominated them in January, back in January when these two teams met.
OU 4-0 under Baranchek. The margin of victory, 27.8. It's the 39th meeting all-time. It's OU's most lopsided conference series. That's good coming out of the break.
Oh, and that's why Tyler Van is the 6th player of the year. So dangerous from the free throw line down low. She has some physicality to her, and she can shoot the 3 as well. Collar down low, wanting the ball. Got a mismatch. Mouse in the house.
Yep, Nevaeh Tot, we mentioned it, 5'3". That is the call. Great job by her teammate to find that mismatch and exploit it. Quickly down low, tapped by McCullough. Stays on this side though. Robertson for 3. Yeah. Made a career doing it.
Automatic right there for Taylor Robertson. Again, zone defense. She has a little bit extra room. All she needs to move and wait for her teammates to get her the ball.
Broke Kelsey Mitchell's career NCAA three-point mark on January 28th of this year. That game was against Iowa State. First woman in NCAA history with 500 career three-point makes. She had 527. She's a great teammate too, because she could have shot it there. She's already made 3, but swings to the corner. Doesn't get the make, but gets the wide open look. Turnover on the other end. TCU's hot start, they weren't turning the ball over.
Absolutely, and it's a team that averages about 17 turnovers a game in conference play.
Van, 25% three-point shooter, drills it. And the lead for TCU cut in half.
I think that's misleading with Van. I think she hits big shots. Maybe not a terrific pure shooter from out there, but can knock it down.
Rebound to Goldtung. Beatrice, 6'3", freshman from Overland Park, Kansas. Big 12 all-freshman teamer. Number 0 in white, checking in, giving them presence on the inside.
Well, and she's really come along, I think, Fullerton has, rebounding the basketball, being a physical presence inside. And watch right here, this just, Van saves the ball from going out of bounds. The defense for TCU not ready. You see that shot, and that's Van. Van has the size, the ability to shoot that 3. She hit a 15-footer. This is what Skylar Van does every game in, game out. She's been the 6th player of the year. Come off the bench every single game this year.
Robertson will sit down with those 3 made threes, but the good news is Maddie Williams comes back in for Oklahoma. Van misses the first. Sooners have won the league postseason championship 4 times, 02, 04, 06, and 07. 2 seed is the highest for the Sooners since 2015. They've been a top 2 seed 14 times in the history of the tournament. Both free throws missed by Van. Aubrey Jones into the game as well. Junior from Iowa City, Iowa. May be familiar with her. Transfer from Iowa State. Third-team foul on Oklahoma, Van's first. 2:41 left in the opening quarter. See TCU open up with that energy that they established last night. Corner 3. This one's well off. Rebound to Jones. Peagley wanted a push off. Jones might have got away with one. Top pulls back, no good.
TCU's doing a nice job of rebounding the basketball. They're pretty undersized, very comfortable with a small lineup, though, and this spread offense that Oklahoma runs. They can match up pretty well.
Top doing a nice job rebounding the ball.
Yeah.
That's her 3rd rebound on the day. Jones for 3 is good.
Yeah, Jones in the last 5 games has really started shooting the ball better. Early in the season, remember, she transferred in, as you mentioned, from Iowa State. I think still trying to get the hang of this Oklahoma system. starting to feel more comfortable and contribute more.
Good to see Iowa State later tonight. That'll be a really good one. 3 versus 6 as Cravens off the dribble. Look at that.
Yeah, Mariuña again. Yeah, that's all right. She's so good. Can knock down the 3. That opens up the drive for her.
TCU, this is what they did effectively last night. They puzzled Kansas with that zone.
It's just a little harder when you have really excellent three-point shooters like Oklahoma does.
To the inside, Ibeh off the glass, the foul on Van. Chance for 3.
Yeah, Lucy Ibeh yesterday was really, really special, I think, off of the bench, and she just continues it here today. Again, undersized at 6 feet tall, plays that 4 position sometimes she roams out to the perimeter, but really isn't afraid of taking contact in the middle.
Second on Van. Ibeh last night, 26 minutes, 3 of 10, 4 of 6 from the line, had 8 rebounds.
Well, and she was part of that bench for TCU that outscored Kansas 18-2, which was a big part of the game and the win.
This is the free throw, but pokes that ball away to get TCU another possession.
Hustle plays. This is what TCU did yesterday.
Finds the open shooter and buried by Breon White. TCU shooting 55% from the field, 44% from 3. That lead back up to 7 prior to that jumper being canned by Maddie Williams.
That has to feel good for Maddie Williams. Again, she was injured in that game against Oklahoma State last day of the regular season.
Ibeh called for the travel. Could have been an offensive foul. Looked like she clipped Scott going up, but does turn the ball over.
Well, Liz Scott does a nice job, I think, even though she's a bit undersized at 6'2", dealt with a lot of injuries last season, and her playing time was limited, is much healthier this year, and been really, really dependable on the interior.
It's like she knew.
She knew.
She knew. They knew we were talking about her senior. 6'2" from Houston, Texas. 29-game starter, 16.2 minutes per game. She averages 9.2.
And there's Maddie Williams, that knee brace that she's wearing. It was such an unusual injury. Was setting a screen, kind of got hit by somebody in the game, went out 5 minutes into that game against Oklahoma State. Oh, her team went on to win the Bedlam matchup. That rivalry is huge, as you know.
143 career games she's played, 3rd in Oklahoma history. All-American, honorable mention last year. Projected WNBA first rounder, has a very bright future in the game of basketball. First Sooner, 2,000 points, 850 rebounds, 300 assists. A joy to watch over the years. Trying to edge her team on here. They've cut their deficit to just 3 under 30 seconds in this opening quarter. Shot clock under 10. TCU scrambling. Corner 3, just off to Jones. We'll have to heave it from half court. So TCU riding their momentum from their upset last night. Start off hot. They shoot 40%, make 4 threes, 52% from the field, but Oklahoma, co-champs in the Big 12, claw their way back in. We got a good one, 26-23, the end of 1. 26-23 after 1 quarter. Tyler Denning, Andrea Lloyd, our 3rd quarter final of the day here in KC. Let's do a little bracketology talk. Big shout out to Charlie Cream. I've been blowing him up via text all week, and he is giving us the latest and greatest to keep us updated. This is the picture as is right now, but obviously that could change quite a bit.
Well, certainly Texas and Oklahoma have a lot that they could prove, and they could move up or down depending on how they do here as this tournament progresses. I think the most interesting thing to me is the Kansas-West Virginia story. Just Kansas. Charlie says they might have played themselves into that play in that first 4 game. I think that West Virginia still deserves a shot at the tournament, considering they were fourth in the Big 12 Conference this year, tied for fourth with two other teams, but fourth nonetheless.
Tell you what would really make it interesting if TCU won this Big 12 tournament. Boy, would there be chaos. And the other thing within that that's very interesting for Oklahoma is you see that 4-5. Texas at the 4, Oklahoma at the 5. And why that is so intriguing, the ability to potentially host for the first round. Per Charlie Cream, were Oklahoma to win the tournament, they're for sure hosting. They get to start off in Norman for those first 2-round games. And that a huge boost.
Well, and I think for Texas right now, they're in Charlie's bracket, a 4, the first 4. So shot clock runs down here, but they still potentially have an opportunity to be a 3.
Follow off the miss. It was a shot clock violation. No contact on the shot from Ibeh as Fisher not in time. So plenty in play, but for this one, Oklahoma definitely, they are in the tournament. As long as they don't lose this one, they are safe as a 5, but could improve their case. TCU could really cause chaos.
Oh, absolutely. How fun would that be for them? They are just enjoying themselves, having a good time out there, playing very loose and free with a lot of heart. And again, another tough rebound that they get, and that's Lucy Ibeh right in the mix of things.
Maleunia bringing it back the other way as these two teams combined right now, 19 3-point attempts. They have 9 makes. Oklahoma 5 of them, TCU 4. Ibeh off the dribble on Williams. Ibeh looks just like the player we saw last night. The utility knife is just losing the handle, fumbling the ball.
Well, and right now, Oklahoma's taking away the 3-point shooters, so Taiwo's covered by Robertson. That was a deep, deep shot, but Ibeh has to go to work inside because she has that ability and a little bit of space. You mentioned
foul on Robertson on the rebound. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know you mentioned the utility knife, and I think that's exactly what Lucy Ibeh has been this season. She loves to get to the rim. She has that ability to control her body, get the shot off against bigger and smaller opponents. As you see, Maddie Williams was guarding her on that last play.
First on Robertson, but she did draw that foul. Ibeh going for that ball, which keeps it on this end as Cravens tries to work the post up. Shot clock at 6. Taiwo does raise iron. Williams rebounding.
A little bit of English right there.
Jones.
Yep. That's what the Jones girls do right there, is they can shoot the 3 ball.
Yeah, stay with us tonight because we have the player of the year in the Big 12, her sister Ashley. Cravens from deep.
Maybe a bit of a quick shot right there. Maybe make the defense work a little harder. Anna Yanusa coming back in the game after sitting for a little while. That's a young lady, 22 in white, that can get lightning hot.
Yeah, maybe hypnotize Craven a little bit by the speed of the game and seeing everybody else jack them up. This is her going to work against Culleton.
Well, I was just about to say, when I saw that Culleton-Cravens matchup on the inside, that it was a really good matchup. I think Cravens has the experience. Obviously, Culleton as a freshman. See how great example here of how OU pushes the ball down the floor and sees each other. They share the basketball extremely well. OU right now with 8 field goals.
6 of them from 3.
And 8 assists is what I was going to say. So all of their field goals are assisted on the day.
They do lead the Big 12, 3rd in the NCAA, 20.9 assists per game. Is Craven 71% from the line, misses both, but contact trying to get through to rebound was Ibeh. Foul will be called on her.
Not surprised to see her in the scrum right there. I'd like to see Cravens stay at the free throw line. Every time she shoots, she steps back and almost is leaving the free throw instead of sticking with the shot. Missed those 2.
Tot Culleton, Jones, Yanusa, and Van, the 5 on the floor. Back to Culleton, who has a size advantage, but Ibeh scrapping. Cravens comes over with the defense.
Aggressive defense. I thought, as you mentioned, the mismatch down low against Culleton, great defense and sticking with it, and check that block out with a little bit of emphasis
third in the Big 12 in blocks per game, 1.1 for Bella Cravens. Cravens content to just stand in the middle, influence that shot that goes over the backboard and out of bounds. Cravens, we talked last night, from Hawaii, began her career at Nebraska, 6'3" senior, but one of 96 grandkids in her family. You wonder where she gets that feistiness from?
Absolutely.
Maybe there.
Yeah, absolutely. As I mentioned yesterday, the dinner table at Thanksgiving when you're going to Grandma and Grandpa's house must have been competitive to get to the food.
Yeah, 96 pieces of chicken, if everybody eats chicken, fish, whatever it may be.
I think in Hawaii it might be fish, yeah, right?
Fish. Loses it out of bounds on the pass, a turnover. Right now, 4 turnovers for TCU, 7 for Oklahoma. That's been something that TCU has done well, minimizing the turnovers, but right now in the midst of a 2-minute scoring drought, still leading by 4.
We saw TCU's defense, though, battle it out in the game against Kansas. Several times Kansas made a run, came back at them, and they just buckled down throughout the 40 minutes and continued to make plays.
Andrea, obviously very early, but just for your knowledge,
yes,
a 10 has never upset a 2.
Well, there you go.
At the Big 12 tournament.
A lot of time left, and we talked yesterday about how TCU struggles with putting quarters together. They can put 1, 2, 3 quarters together, but they've struggled to put full games. They did that yesterday. Can they repeat that today?
And Malauna from deep off and over the back. It was Ibeh that takes the hard contact. Coming over the top was Liz Scott. Down on the ground is Lucy Ibeh, graduate student from Lagos, Nigeria.
I'm just saying nobody's ever said that women's basketball is a non-contact sport, have they? Because it is so physical out here. Not just this game, but all of the games that we've seen. These games mean something to these women out here.
Lucy Ibeh has shown absolutely no regard for her personal health and safety, the way that she's willing to get in there. And that was a scrappy play. Last night we saw Cravens and Taiwo. They had collided heads. Cravens had to get checked out over on the side, and that was a pivotal moment in the game. Came back in and significant contributions. Everybody good to go. Ibeh right back into the mix and right back to the floor. She will shoot 2 free throws. I'm sure you had teammates like this that they were always on the ground.
Might have been me.
You were that teammate?
It could have been. Well, you know what? This play right here, watch how she goes underneath the defense when she's shooting the shot. That's the thing that I think with some of these players out on the floor, like to me, Lucy Ibeh is just such a crafty player in the post. She has great ball control, again, great body control. She can go up and under you. She can go around you. She can jump over the top of you if she's got a size advantage.
Crafty. 65% free throw shooter. Right now, TCU 0 for 4 from the stripe. Struggled last night at the line as well. It's a team that was last in the league, 64%, 331st in the NCAA as Ibeh makes the second her team, leading by 5, 5:45 left. Culleton gets a space.
She's bullied her way through there, right? Culleton has, again, a little bit more size against the TCU players, able to use that physicality and get an easy bucket.
Cravens to Ibeh, working that high-low. They flip the post, and it works.
Yeah, move and counter move. That's Lucy Ibeh on the interior. So active, and she's played a lot of minutes. So you look at her out there, doesn't seem to tire. Great ball pressure.
TCU continues to hustle, fight. Late whistle, it was Cravens on the challenge, thought she was good defending Jones, but free throws coming for Aubrey Jones when we come back. Is there an upset brewing? Or did the co-champs move on? Still plenty to play halfway through quarter number 2. when we showed up to Kansas City, we wondered what the vibe would be like for this 10-seeded TCU team. 7-22 coming in, just one win in conference play. But we saw them go through their practice. We saw their shoot around. We talked with Coach Peebly. It's a group that you could not tell that they have had the tumultuous season that they had and the record that they had. This is a picture from senior day. But the vibes are great with this group, and it's shown here.
Yeah, absolutely. They really care about each other. They've worked hard throughout the season, despite only winning one conference game. They've stuck together. How about the weather in her hometown?
Laie, Hawaii.
Yeah,
That's where Bella Cravens, if anybody's watching, North Shore of Oahu.
Town of 6,000 people, 30-some miles north of Honolulu.
You want to go?
Yeah.
After this?
Absolutely.
Rock and roll.
You know, it's interesting that she chose to go to Eastern Washington. As you know, I'm from the Palouse, so between Moscow and Pullman, Washington out there, and she was at Eastern Washington a couple of years, decided to transfer to Nebraska. Cravens did, and did a nice job there, and then decided to use her fifth year here at TCU.
Saw the traditional lays in the senior year photo.
Parents
across all collegiate sports, when you have a senior day, your Hawaiian teammate usually brings a lei. And this group, you can tell, they fight for one another. Coach Peebly said she really loves this group as good as any that she's ever been around. It's not due to them that she said, hey, she wants a new challenge and she wants to move on. And you can tell that her team and players are playing for her along with themselves and to write their own end to the season. Shot clock at 6.
Been a while since TCU has hit a 3.
Tywell going to have to go with Jones all over the defense from Aubrey Jones.
Yeah, I've seen a renewed energy with Oklahoma as far as their perimeter defense. After TCU was 4 for 10 in the first quarter, this quarter they have yet to hit a 3. And has some turnovers on the perimeter as well. Just better pressure defensively. A little bit of a knock maybe on Oklahoma because they're an offensive team that they don't play defense. You have some feelings about that?
Our colleague Brenda Van Langen had made the point looking at these quarterfinal matchups when you have a team that gets a day off. She said this earlier with Texas, the game you had watched as well, that you'll usually have a slower starting team. That's a team that hasn't played yet. And the team that has played comes in with that energy because they know what's at stake. Shot clock at 8, moving the ball around hot. Good ball fake, does clear space, but Cravens clears the glass.
A good contest by Fisher, I thought, right there, making her put the ball on the floor, take a tough 2.
Cravens, Fisher, Ibeh, Manamalauna, and Tywell, the 5 on the floor for TCU. Culleton, Tucker, Jones, and Robertson, the 5 for Oklahoma. Is falling down in the corner to Jones. That one sent back by Cravens. Back up again. Called for the foul this time.
I thought there was more contact on that first defensive play for Cravens, who is not afraid to go in with a lot of physicality here against a very physical player herself in Culleton. But I thought there was a lot of contact there. A lot of ball, too, but that second contested shot whistled a foul on her. And you see Jones. I'm not sure what happened over in the corner. I've tripped over lines before, too.
Yeah, it looked non-contact.
Yep.
Culleton makes the first 74% free throw shooter, but she's looking at maybe that left ankle. I noticed her.
They're massaging her.
Cramped up.
Yep. And I don't mean to make light of somebody that's injured.
No,
it's awkward when you fall
and with that
by yourself.
You know, you're thinking the worst when there's non-contact, but it does look like she's just getting attended to. We'll keep an eye on that on the sideline.
And this has become a one-point game now, with TCU really struggling to score the last few minutes.
Well, they haven't been able to get anything going offensively. Can Oklahoma take the lead? Corner 3. White eventually clears. Fisher will bring it up. White feeding the post. Back out to Fisher, shot clock at 4. Going against Tot, has the size advantage, cannot make. That rebound bounces up and hits Robertson in the face. She collected herself coming up the court. Good ball movement, Tot.
I think that foul's good, yeah, on TCU.
And stay down on this side. OU's moving the ball.
Absolutely, they do a terrific job of moving the ball. As I mentioned earlier, 9 shots made now, 9 of those assisted. So every single shot has been assisted for Oklahoma.
They have 6 less shot attempts than TCU. We wondered about the rebounding margin right now for Oklahoma, just +3. Oklahoma came into this tournament tops in the Big 12, 9.5 plus their margin. -6 for TCU, last in the Big 12. So I have to think right now for TCU, that's a win.
Absolutely.
Sooners still looking for their first lead, and they will get it off the bucket from Beatrice Culleton.
TCU brings in Patricia Morris at 6'7", and great job by Culleton to hit over the top of her.
She draws the foul there off the miss from Manu Malaunia. Second on Taylor Robertson.
Well, Culleton has gone to work inside. She has 6 points here already in the game. And again, over 6'6", Patricia Morris. That's a pretty nice move up and under. She's a really, really good low block player. Again, I saw her in preseason. She's skilled around the basket. As we see Jones come back in the game.
Morris, 6'7" senior, the tallest player in the Big 12. Tie ball game. Sooners still looking for their first lead. Second lead, excuse me. They did get it last time down, went up by 1.
All right, I love how Culleton is posting up right now. She is just demanding the basketball and making good things happen. Great pass right there. Great cut by Jones.
Jones obviously looking all right. Check back in. Fighting for the ball there. Pulls the chair to get the turnover. 2 on 3 the other way. 3 on 3 now. Turnover, losing the ball out of bounds. Timeout on the TCU side.
Again, you know, Culleton, we've mentioned her name quite a few times because she scored the basketball. Here she shows her versatility on that last shot that we just saw as a passer, distributor, highly recruited young lady at 6'3". She's a true freshman out there getting a lot of minutes.
4-star recruit coming out of St. Thomas Aquinas High School. McDonald's All-American from Overland Park, Kansas. 3-time Kansas All-State player, 4 state titles for Culleton. Her player efficiency rating, 18.3, 4th amongst qualifying Big 12 freshmen.
And you look at the conference focus. We talk about the Big 12 and the respect or disrespect they might have this season, depending on how you feel about it. But
I think every coach has said underrated.
Yeah, 9 of the teams in this conference rank in the top 75 of the net, which isn't good enough for everyone to get into the NCAA tournament, but it's a very strong conference. The one team that isn't in the top 75 was winning this game yesterday is TCU, and they're down by 2 to OU right now, closing in on the end of the half.
Yeah, I think if you told TCU this is what the opening half would look like to the co-champs that scored 101 on you earlier this year, they would take it. Culleton to the ground. Does come up with it eventually. Jones back the other way. Trailing Culleton. Jones, corner.
Bingo.
Automatic.
Absolutely. It wasn't automatic earlier in the season. She is having a game, though, today. Really, really confident shooting the last few weeks.
4 for 4 from the field, 13 points, 3 made threes, 2 made free throws. Go along with 3 rebounds as well for Aubrey Jones. About 2.5 between shot and game is Taiwo. The team nearly 5 minutes without a made field goal. One of their last 11. That will be the buzzer. Oklahoma at one point was down double digits. It was 18-8. But the co-champs in the league fight back. They have a 5-point lead as we go to half. We'll take a short break, get you to the studio for the halftime report. 2 seed Oklahoma 39, 10 seed.
Welcome back to the Phillips 66 Big 12 Women's Championship. It is Champ Week here on ESPN. We're outside Municipal Auditorium right here, and it is coming to a close in the quarterfinal day, a day that always seems to bring some surprises. We've already seen some incredible finishes today. It is halftime right now between TCU and Oklahoma as the 10 seed TCU tries to make yet another splash in this fantastic championship. They beat Kansas last night. This is what we've got for you today. Iowa State Baylor still coming up to set our semifinals tomorrow that start at 1 Eastern on Big 12 Now on ESPN+. Courtside alongside Brenda Van Lingen, I'm Chucky Kemp. TCU playing like a team who has no expectations, and they're leaving it out on the court and basically said, look, we're going to let it fly tonight.
They really are. I mean, when they're open from three-point range, they're hitting the shots. When they have mismatches, they're driving to the basket, they're posting up. But Oklahoma has stayed calm and steady, hit some big shots, gotten to the free throw line, and have taken the lead here at halftime.
Well, it's going to take a lot if you want to outshoot Oklahoma. TCU has tried to do that so far. They're hanging tight right now, and they hit 4 threes in that first half. The problem was they all came in the first quarter. Tara Malauia and Tomi Taiwo were the ones delivering.
Yeah, they were moving the basketball well. They were finding openings against this Oklahoma defense, moving the basketball, making the extra pass, being unselfish. But I thought the Oklahoma defense adjusted in the second quarter, made the shots more difficult. As you look at the shooting percentage was 52% for this TCU squad in the first quarter, but it dropped considerably in the second as Oklahoma stepped up their defense. TCU was able to get some points off turnovers. A lot of those were early in the game.
We're talking about it's tough to outshoot Oklahoma, and it's partially because they have somebody named Taylor Robertson, and all she does is hit threes, and she started hot.
The all-time leading three-point shooter in NCAA history, coming out on fire once again. You can't leave Taylor Robertson open. And the extra pass, she's all by herself on the baseline. She hits 3 three-pointers to get things started. She's got 9 points, and everybody else kind of started following suit once Taylor Robertson got things loosened up. They've hit 7 three-pointers. They've gotten to the free throw line, so they're not shooting well, Oklahoma, overall, but they are shooting well from 3, and they're getting to the free throw line, so that's made a big difference.
And really, you mentioned it with TCU, their points off turnovers, the only knock against Oklahoma, turned it over a little bit too much. 9 turnovers in that first half. We talked to Charlie Cream earlier today about some bracketology. Kansas suffering a tough loss last night. West Virginia is certainly probably on the wrong side of things right now. We'll see what happens. I think we all think their resume is probably good enough. We'll find out.
Yeah, I think as the committee looks at their entire body of work, and especially what they've done lately, the wins that they have, the fact that they tied for 4th in the Big 12, they have 10 conference wins. They've won against 6 teams that are going to be tournament teams. They're an NCAA tournament team.
You had the full resume. You sold me on it. I completely agree. And they showed that today. We're so close to what Charlie Cream thought would probably secure it with a win over Oklahoma State, but they were able to come from behind at the very last second with, I think, probably the game of the championship so far. And what a win for J.C. Hoyt and the job she's done. They were picked toward the bottom of the conference. Yeah. Here they are, and they could make a run.
They have played well all year long. They beat Texas earlier this year, so they have a rematch in the semifinals. But they played from behind the entire game. What a game by West Virginia. They played hard. They played great defense. Oklahoma State would come back. West Virginia would hold them at arm's length. And then it just was the right play at the right time at the end of the game for Oklahoma State to take the lead and win the game. What a game.
We'll take a look at that game even more when we come back. We'll also take a look at that Texas game as they move on past Kansas State. It's Oklahoma and TCU. The third quarterfinal of the day. Big first half for Aubrey Jones. She had 10 points, and Oklahoma leads by 5. Well, that's the front of Municipal Auditorium here in downtown Kansas City, the home of the Phillips 66 Big 12 Women's Championship. Just across the street is the Big 12 Women's Championship Fan Fest, where there's all kinds of stuff over there. There's some Pop-A-Shot, there's How Do You Measure Up right there. I'm definitely a fan of the Pop-A-Shot. Would you? Is that your go-to?
I like that too. Yeah, I could make a lot of shots in the Pop-A-Shot. I love it because the Big 12 has made a commitment to make sure that there is a fan fest outside the women's championship as well. There's such a great presence as Power and Light, and I've been really impressed how the Big 12 has been committed to make sure the fans of both championships are having those kind of fun, interactive experiences.
Well, first off, there's no way that last shot just went in that they were celebrating. This right here is Sam Parrish, who attends Aubrey Bend Middle School and will attend Blue Valley Southwest. These shots were going in. 16 of 20 of these went in.
Let's see.
So well done, Sam Parrish. Yeah, we're not lying to you. This one's legit. He's cashing in shots left and right, showing off the stroke from long range. And see that it would look a lot different if I were out there. So well done, Sam Parrish. Alongside Brenda Van Lingen, I'm Chucky Kemp inside the historic Municipal Auditorium. West Virginia, Oklahoma State, we were talking about them just before the break. Those two guards for West Virginia today, J.J. Quinterly, Madison Smith, it felt like they would not be touched. Oklahoma State stayed tight, ended up coming through, but they were fun to watch today.
Yeah, Madison Smith and J.J. Quinterly were inspired. And Madison Smith had 15 points at halftime. She was half the way to her career high. She was so good in the second half, getting shots up inside the paint, driving like she has done throughout her career, hitting big three-pointers. And then Oklahoma State was able to get back in by chipping away. They shot well from three-point range. They got some shots at the rim. They attacked. They had an offensive foul called. And then they had an opportunity as the clock wound down one. And Taryn Milton hit the game winner at .1 on the clock after they had played from behind for 33 minutes of that game. A huge comeback, a heartbreaking loss for West Virginia.
This is what we've seen so far. It's been a tremendous tournament. TCU, the upset last night. Kansas State passed Texas Tech. The K-State ran into Texas today in what was a very slow starting game, but then the Longhorns showed how stingy they can be defensively.
Yeah, it was a close game, 18-18 at halftime, and then Texas separated in the third quarter.
We will find out. Can the TCU Horned Frogs do it yet again? They trail Oklahoma at halftime. The second half is coming up. Sooners or Horned Frogs? We will find out.
Welcome back to the Phillips 66 Big 12 Women's Championship. It has been a good one, the opening half. Tennessee TCU looking for an upset. Got off to a good start, but the bench for the co-champs in the Big 12 has been great.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, if you look at the points that have been scored in this game, 26 of the 39 points have come off the bench for Oklahoma. And we were laughing. We talked in the open about the fact that we had featured Williams,
always right.
featured Anna Yunusa, featured Robertson, who shot the ball really well early on, and it has seriously been the bench that has really done the most damage in this game thus far. Inside Culleton was spectacular, I thought, just taking up space, putting pressure on TCU's defense, and then on the perimeter, how about Aubrey Jones? Perfect from the field, 4 for 4, 3 for 3 as far as points from three.
We knew Maddie Williams was available, the leading scorer, one of the best players in the country in the Big 12. She played 10 minutes, 55 seconds, 3 field goal attempts, but the question would be who would step up in her stead. It has been that bench. Jones that had 13, she's 4 of 4 from the field, 3 of 3 from three-pointer. Culleton as well, stepping up big. TCU came out with the fight. But Andrea, you talked about putting together a 4-quarter game. That's what they have lacked this season. Part of the reason they're 1-17 coming in to this tournament. They went the last 5.5 minutes nearly without a made field goal.
Oh, terrific first quarter shooting the basketball, 4 threes for TCU, and then OU decided they were going to up the tempo defensively and up the pressure, and I think TCU really suffered that pressure. Didn't shoot the ball well in that quarter, couldn't get really that many inside points. Ibeh went to work, but couldn't be consistent through the second quarter.
Robertson, Van, and Scott all with 2 fouls each. Bella Cravens with 2, Bradley and McCullough 2 fouls apiece as well. We're underway. Fisher pulls up, Cravens fighting, and she knows she has 2 fouls because pulled that right hand out real quick going over the back of Robertson.
You're smart and you're crafty if you're playing the way Cravens does on the inside.
Robertson 9 points. The game high is Jones with those 13.
Good job of going to meet the pass right there. Cravens easily could have had that pass picked off by Scott, who tried to come around her and just went to the basketball and met it.
Three on Scott now. Robertson will be charged for that one. Manamala got her to leave her feet. 3rd on Taylor Robertson. Scott will sit down, checking in. 6th player of the year, 2 times, Skylar Van.
And how about the pass from Cravens? She has her fingerprints all over the place on this stat sheet. No big numbers, but Craven had 4 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds, 3 blocks at the half, and a nice little pass right there.
Outside of the 3-point shooting, TCU, they made them early, they missed them late, but it seemed like pace. They were dictating pace early on when they had the success.
Well, they were able to keep pace, I think, with Oklahoma, who came out trying to push the ball up and down the floor, and TCU was able to shoot the ball with them. In the second half, things slowed down a little bit for everybody, a little bit more of a quarter-court game.
Tot for 3. That one good. Nevaeh Tot, junior from Columbus, Ohio.
And here's TCU. You mentioned pushing pace, trying to get down the floor before the defense can get set up.
Oklahoma 99th percentile in pace. They like to go, 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 but that's the danger. Can you run with Oklahoma? Can you outshoot an Oklahoma team that does both so exceptionally well?
A lot of dribbling going on. Great job by Tot in the passing lane.
Fisher got pinned down as Tot back the other way. Great find off the dribble penetration. Wide open was Van, the assist to Yanusa.
Well, Yanusa started the first half 0 for 4 with her field goals. Didn't shoot the ball. A young lady that is certainly capable of scoring 20 on any given night. Unselfish play.
What a story for Anna Yanusa as well. Missed over 1,000 days between Big 12 games. All of 22, part of 21. She last played in a postseason game in 2019. So number 22 in white has to be happy to be back out there. Rebound off her miss. That's missed by Robertson, who's to the floor. Some numbers for TCU. Cravens has the mismatch. She realized Top was on her, but
turned it over.
Williams, another great find. This is what Oklahoma does. They share the ball as good as any team in the league. Early timeout for TCU. Coach Peedley does not like what she's seen from her team. Oklahoma comes out hot. 7-0 run to begin the second half. So our officiating crew, Brian Hall, Julie Croman-Hook, and Brian Enterline getting together to review the contact from Lucy Ibeh up top on Skylar Van, and they did determine it was worthy of upgrading.
So it will be an intentional foul. Remember, in women's basketball, there's no flagrant foul. The upgraded foul is intentional for contact fouls. And explained to me by Brian Enterline that they decided that it was an excessive force to the head. Definitely not intentional. You talk about an intentional foul. It's not the intent. It's actually what happens. If it was intentional, it would have probably been disqualifying. So they will shoot free throws, get the ball out of bounds in front of us.
And you put Taylor Robertson, who is a 46, 43, 92 player. That is field goal percentage, three-point percentage, and free throw percentage.
Quick question. Who won the Elks Hoop Shoot in 2012?
You tell me.
Oh, come on. She's standing in front of us. Taylor Robertson in Austin, Texas. 25 for 25. She shot from the free throw line. as a 12-year-old. Was it a 12-year-old, I think?
Circle that moment as well, because it had been a 6-0 run for TCU, and Ibeh had got that rebound, and it looked like, hey, they can be out on the break and really cut into this lead. But now with the 2 shots and the ball, and now the foul again on Ibeh, as Jones will be the one that draws it. OU has an opportunity to really build on that lead. Third on Lucy Ibeh.
Oh, when you have pressure like that, TCU's coming out with a lot of pressure. What you do is you go backdoor. So a terrific look by Van, getting Jones on the backdoor cut. Ibeh will walk over and talk to her coach and take a seat for a little while.
Jones makes the first. You were in the midst of a story talking about watching the sideline, 2 coaches.
Oh, yeah. Well, I just am going to miss. I enjoy watching these 2 coaches, as I do many coaches in the Big 12, but certainly terrific coaches, terrific teachers of the game, very positive women. They have players and teams that are very cohesive, have a lot of energy and synergy.
Yeah, Jenny Baranchak, gracious enough to sit down, spend about 15 minutes this morning just talking through her team. Had a nice little fireside chat with her. We were down in the lobby.
I'm just glad you were up, you know?
I can do it. I just don't like it.
That was going to be on Bradley inside, just trying to guard Van, it looks like.
What was the one aspect of the game that you did but you didn't like? Rebounding?
Oh,
you like to rebound?
Oh, I love to rebound.
So what did you do but you didn't like to do it?
Shoot.
Who doesn't like to shoot?
Me, I like to
basketball
pass.
And you didn't like to shoot?
I love to pass. Hey, I was like a rebound and run, let's get on the fast break, let me dish out the ball kind of player at 6'2".
Okay. You need to find some footage of that.
There's footage.
That ball tracked down by Jones.
We had enough shooters on our team, come on.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough.
Fran Harris.
Shout out to Fran Harris. She's one of the best gunners out there when it comes to shooting the ball.
Oh, one of the most confident players. And I think shooters are that way. So if you give them the green light, if they need to come out because they're shooting too much, the coach takes them out.
Speaking of shooting, OU has not done that. No field goals over the last 2 minutes and 30 seconds. They're living at the free throw line here. That first make by Culleton on the 2-shot foul.
And TCU knows it's do or die. They have to play better defense. They have shortened the distance, really got up in the shorts of the offensive players for Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, in spite of shooting 39%, so that 1 percentage point deficit to TCU. Prior to that, they have lived at the free throw line 13 of 16 makes. TCU shot 10, great lead, drawing the defense in. Van with the pass, the finish from Culleton.
For the first time today, TCU looks tired, and I know Cravens is posting up hard in there, working hard, but defensively made a couple of mistakes, just not able to help the helper or get there on a back cut. Fouling a little bit more.
These tournaments can be so hard. If you're playing TCU, that's 4 wins in 4 days you're looking for. Playing on energy, playing on emotion. So much emotion, sure, for them last night.
Well, they can't get the ball to go in right now. So Mane Malihuna with not a horrible shot there from 3. And
Jones from deep finally misses. Cravens collects. So whistle, that's on Skylar Van. It's her third. She's getting clarification.
That's the 15th foul.
Now they've cleared it up. Initial reaction, she wasn't too happy.
well, Tott's coming in for Van, and she just kind of waved her off like, no, I'm staying in. And then Tott, this is the beauty of Oklahoma. You put Nevaeh Tott in the game at 5'3" for Skylar Van, who's the 6th player of the year at 6 feet tall. You see the foul a little bit earlier. Oklahoma, the reason they're really good is because they do have their senior leadership in their big 4, let's call it, their 3 starters and Van coming off the bench. But they also have just a lot of depth, and they've cultivated that with some of their freshmen. Some of it is just with the transfer in Jones.
Paige Bradley making the second, missing the first. Is that pass right to Fisher, and Fisher just drew Culleton out and then went right at her. Good sequence for Fisher and TCU.
I see the Horned Fox picking up full court, trying to get a few more possessions here, cause a turnover. create a little bit of momentum for themselves.
Culleton, Tucker, Jones, Robertson, the 5 on the floor. Robertson from 3, automatic.
How many feet did she need to get that shot off? I mean, she had about 6 feet with the defense coming in late, but
led the Big 12 in three-point percentage, three-point makes, 81. Mentioned first woman in NCAA history at any level, 500 career makes, 527 coming into this game. She's made a perfect 4 for 4.
Well, anytime you're playing an aggressive defense and you're in a scramble situation and Robertson gets open or backdoor cuts like this happen, I think that's where Oklahoma can really pick you apart. But if you're going to guard Taylor Robertson, who's one of the best defenders in the nation and of all time, or is one of the best defenders and one of the best three-point shooters, you cannot give her that much space. And again, it's just that TCU's in a scramble situation. They're not covering her one-on-one. They're trying to create opportunities, and she's getting those looks.
Cravens will draw the foul on Culleton, shoot 2. TCU trying to stay in striking distance. Third on Beatrice Culleton.
Well, that's the key right now for TCU, is to stay within striking distance somehow, some way. We saw them make multiple plays in last night's game. On the floor, tipping balls, hitting big shots.
So the 6'3" senior Bella Cravens rattles in the first.
TCU just 7 for 13 from the free throw line today. That's hurt them a little bit.
Good with the second. Teams both shooting 41%. TCU's attempted 3 more field goals, but OU 47%, 9 of 19 from 3, as Tot takes another. Cravens rebounds. Back the other way. Bradley steps through, had a clean look at it. Jones collects. Scott sent back by Cravens. 4th block on the day for Cravens. Tips that ball out, but right into the hands of Yanusa.
That's an interesting lineup right now for Oklahoma.
Yeah, Oklahoma has really benefited from continuity. Same starting 5 across every game this season. Only team in the country to do such. We talked about Maddie Williams, their star. She's available. We have seen her tonight, but the advantage, Coach Baranchek, the staff, can they play without her and find a way to get through this game, give her a little more opportunity, especially with consecutive games, consecutive days. Back cut Taiwo, she's been quiet today.
Yeah, Manamalunya with a terrific pass. Not enough pressure on the passer right there. Has all that vision to hit the backdoor cut.
Taiwo, her 8th point, 3 of 7 from the field, but for her and what we saw last night, really involved in so much. TCU in that zone. Taiwo back the other way. Into the post. Taiwo with the hezzy. Horned Frogs moving the ball around to get the open 3, and Bradley makes.
Yeah, Bradley had to sit quite a bit of foul trouble in that first quarter. She is just a sophomore, but certainly someone that can knock it down. Big shot, 2-point game.
Had her career high 14 against Oklahoma earlier this year. As Cravens collects to the floor. Does kick it out as McCullough. Just those little things right now. That Ibeh foul that got upgraded. They rebound on the miss there. TCU on a 9-0 scoring run here. Over 2 minutes and 49 seconds. Oklahoma has gone 0 of their last 5, 1 of their last 7. 3 minutes and 3 seconds they have not scored, as this is dwindled to a 2-point advantage.
Maddie Williams back in the game. She'll be the one taking the ball out. They
What are they throwing around on the floor?
I'm not sure what's going on. I think something was on the floor, rolling it back the other way.
Well, got good. You know, when they do like the full court putt, like that looked like it, and it would have made that one.
Well, Maddie Williams thought the official had put the ball down because she waited too long to get out there, so she ran out of bounds and picked it up. And he's like, no, we're looking for something on the floor.
I don't know if it was a piece of jewelry, a piece of a shoe.
It can't
looked like
jewelry.
Yeah, it looked like metal. Williams is back into the game, and on command, nails tough mid-range shot when Oklahoma needed it to break the drought.
Yeah, that's what you want from your fifth-year senior, is somebody that can come in and play in a clutch situation like this, knock down key shots. Looks pretty good out there with her mobility, just limiting her minutes again because of that injury.
Double comes on Cravens, who has it knocked away. 30 seconds on the clock. Williams right at Cravens off the glass.
Back-to-back baskets. This is what you save Williams for, moments like this where you need some big baskets, you need leadership.
It was cut to 2 and now up to 6 after consecutive baskets from the first teamer in the Big 12. Shot clock off, under 10 seconds. Fisher looking to run the offense. Ibeh scrambling, McCullough can't shoot it in time. Maddie Williams has given her team some breathing room.
Yeah, just 2 points and up to this point, and then back-to-back baskets for Maddie Williams, who has just been spectacular in the few minutes she's played here as of late.
So the co-champs in the regular season, overall 2-seed Oklahoma looking to book their spot in this semifinal. 1 quarter to play in regulation when we come back. 60-54 Sooners. We knew Oklahoma, one of the best scoring teams in the land, 85.2 points per game, first in the Big 12, second in the NCAA. It's been their bench that has carried their scoring today.
Yeah, that's a pretty impressive number right there. Starters 25, the bench have 35 of the 60 points for Oklahoma. I will say they have kept OU in this game, the bench has, but as of late, Maddie Williams, I'm telling you, those 2 baskets, her coming in off of the bench after sitting out for quite a while, that was critical.
6-point ball game, 1 quarter left in regulation. What is at stake? 10 seed has never upset a 2 here at the Big 12 championship. Winner of this one will face off against the winner of the one this evening, 3 versus 6. Iowa State Baylor, that is the game that we had circled. That has one of a feel of a final. That'll be tonight. Winner of that plays the winner of this. Tyler Denning, Andrea Lloyd. Game number 3 of the day. Kick things off, Oklahoma State with a buzzer beater game winner. Then Texas overcame a slow start, cranked up their defense in the third as Cravens loses the ball. It's the 3rd game of the day, 3rd semifinalist. Tucker, Yunusa, Williams, Scott, the 5 on the floor for Oklahoma.
Maddie Williams doing a terrific job down low of posting up, being really, really active with her feet, draws that foul right there. Ibeh, looks like it's her 4th, potentially, right there, so she'll sit.
Bradley Fisher, Manamalauna, and Taiwo, the 5 that were on the floor as Ibeh comes off.
Tucker almost caught that ball after it was tipped out.
Kennedy Tucker, who began her career at North Carolina, inbounds to Williams. Shot clock at 9. Good post move, just backing down does Liz Scott.
Liz Scott has been quiet offensively. That's just her 4th point. Couple of free throws, 1 for 6 on the day. TCU needs a basket.
Especially with the shot clock down now at 5. Manamalauna off the glass with the left. Cooper Ronchek could just stare at that ball. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
Well, you know what? At some point,
good.
you just try to get it up off the backboard. And Manamana is really, really good three-point shooter. She's good off of the drive, but she's been playing against bigger players today. She goes over Williams on that play. We said they needed a basket. How many times have we seen TCU gut something out? Just make a play. Look at Fisher in quarter 3. She had 7 points.
Senior from Queensland, Australia, began her career at Arizona. TCU, 2 players from Australia, 1 from Canada, 1 from Nigeria. Still within striking distance. OU leading by 5. Yanusa pulls back for 3. Cravens collects with a screech. Kicks out of the double. Three-pointer is off, fighting for the rebound. McCullough. The shot clock resets, working against Robertson. Turnaround jumper. Boy, Todd, rebounding presence.
Yeah, she is. Nevaeh Todd is she's got basketball sense out there.
5th rebound of the contest, all on the defensive side. Over the top, Williams is off. If you could hear from the refs,
Brian
pretty
Hall, yeah.
emphatic. Yes. Yanusa was out of bounds.
I have to tell you, I've been watching the officials today. Brian Interline is sweating. Everybody's sweating out here. Brian Hall as well. It's been an up and down game. They've had to work incredibly hard. Terrific officiating
I love
crew.
it when the officials just give us the frankness of it. That's exactly what you saw. Tell us what you think and what you saw. Fisher pulls up. Robertson there off the air ball.
Yeah, tough shot right there. Again, you'd like to see better passing, a little more ball movement, but I think OU's just playing pretty good defense.
Cravens wanted the foul, but it does go her way in terms of possession. And this similar to what we saw. TCU's having the opportunities. 2 minutes now, Oklahoma's gone without a point. But can TCU capitalize?
Oh, and there's some depth for Oklahoma. Out goes Scott, in comes Van, the 6th player of the year. They don't drop off at all. In fact, they might get a better scorer in there in that substitution. Back in the game also is Ibeh for TCU.
I think a big possession for TCU. If they can get a bucket, would really give them some momentum. They do not turn it over. And a live ball turnover, even numbers the other way. Robertson with the lead. She goes with the binocs, the vision. It's not just all 3-point shooting for her.
Again, turnovers are adding up in the second half for TCU. Points off turnovers have become a factor.
$19 points off of turnovers for TCU, 17 for Oklahoma. That shot halfway down. Back the other way, just out of the hands of Williams.
I mentioned that nothing drops off when you take Scott out, the starter, and put Van in. And here's why. Van is just terrific, I think. Running the floor, just runs right to the rim, gets the pass from Robertson. Those are the kind of things you want to see from a team that shares the ball incredibly well.
13 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists for Skylar Van. Only player in the Big 12 to go 6th player of the year 2 times in a row. McCullough, soft touch. Ibeh taking lots of contact down there, fighting on the floor. 2 bodies, Oklahoma coming up. The ball out, Yanusa. McCullough came over, just on the back, a little too physical for the ref's flavor. Yanusa draws the foul. 3rd foul on McCullough. 2nd team foul. Foul trouble not an issue yet for either team. Robertson will inbound. Wide open off the inbounds pass. Van. My eyes went to where I think yours did.
Oh, absolutely. Well, just
21 assists, 22 made field goals.
Yeah, it's just incredible how well Oklahoma shares the basketball. It's a team game out there. They love to pass to each other. They don't care who scores the ball. Look at that emotion from Ibeh on the interior. They are not done yet.
It's still right there, 5:04 left. It's a couple possessions. Can they find the shots? Can they maximize here at the free throw line as well? It's gotten better, 9 of 15. So Ibeh, the 65% free throw shooter, is 2 of 4 this evening. Six-point contest. 10 seed versus the 2 seed. Oklahoma co-champs in the regular season. TCU winners of just one conference game. The upset already of Kansas. Do we have another one in the making? On the break.
Great
Maleuna with the
anticipation.
finish.
Yeah, well, great anticipation defensively, and I think for TCU, they need to get tips. They need to continue to play defense and shut Oklahoma down. You look at the fact that Oklahoma has 66 points right now. This is a team second in the nation in scoring. They've already done a terrific job defensively, keeping them under the 82 that they normally score a game.
Cullerton with the big rebound. Robertson. Wow.
But there's time left, so they might make it to 82.
Taylor Robertson, the best three-point shooter we have seen at the NCAA level, but right back on the other end. Strap in, folks. Here we go. Robertson again. Refs confirm. TCU wants to look at it. It was white ball that was called. TCU seems pretty firm that it will be their ball.
It's unreviewable, so it's going to be white ball.
It has gotten good, though. The threes are falling. The 2 seed, could they fall? 10 has never beat the 2. Threes on both sides. Taylor Robertson, the look away, drains it, but the response on the other end, Taiwo. We have a 4-point ball game. 3:50 left. Three minutes, 50 seconds left in regulation. 69-65. Oklahoma leading over TCU. The 10 seed all-time 0-8 against the 2 seed. Do we have an upset brewing? This would be of magnanimous proportions. TCU came in a net of 144, a record of 7-22, 1-17, 10th in the Big 12. They were swept in the season series. OU had scored their most points in a conference regulation game, 101 against TCU earlier this year. But both of those games when these two teams played were back in January. And obviously this TCU team, a dangerous team we saw last night, upsetting Kansas. Kansas team that's projected in. What do we have for a finish here? Up and under the kiss off the glass, Yanusa.
And that's her first 2 points of the game. Somebody that's used to scoring a lot of baskets, getting a lot of looks. That's a big one there for Yanusa.
Ibeh responds.
There was no stopping Ibeh on that. That's a great jump stop, power move. God, I love her spirit. She is tremendous out there.
So the question now, TCU, when they've gotten stops, can they capitalize on the other end? You can't trade bucket for bucket at this point. That jumper, good, Skylar Van.
Yeah, I'd like to see somebody make Van put the ball on the floor right there instead of getting that 15-foot free throw.
Fisher drawing the defense in. Ibeh, there's a spirit you talk about.
She just has a will to win. This is a young lady that is incredibly smart, incredibly dedicated as a student and an athlete, and somebody that right now is willing her team to stay in this game. You see the fact that she's just fighting for every single basketball out there. Just 6 feet tall, a lot of heart.
Talked about her story, the graduate student from Lagos, Nigeria. World hunger, one of the big things that she wants to pursue in her career outside of basketball. And she has her team hungry for a win tonight, hungry for an upset. You saw the reaction from Tomi Taiwo. Right there meeting her, meeting that energy. Big made free throw. 73-70.
Yeah, free throw's not great in the first part of this game, but for TCU, they've hit some big ones here when it counted.
That was right in front of us, and that was close for Tot. First off, over and back, she had to pause. Does go straight into Fisher, and Fisher's called for the foul.
That's pretty good defense by Fisher. And you want to establish your defensive position, both feet in front of the ball handler, and then keep that. Yeah, just wasn't able to maintain her defensive position as we see that replay. Tot's really quick, though. Tough to guard her on the dribble.
Team fouls are even, 3 apiece. Ibeh does have 4 for TCU, so keep an eye on 21. Stepping out, off is the shot from Van. Offensive rebound, though, resets the shot clock. Cutting Robertson. Williams will reset to Tot. 10 on the shot.
Better
turned over, Cravens.
Good job of making Van put the ball on the floor, and then that help side coming over by Cravens. Again, making a key play for TCU.
Taiwo losing the handle.
Oh, good job, Regan Peebly calling a timeout.
They do have just 1 left after this.
Yeah, OU with 3 timeouts left, TCU with 1 timeout left. That may come into play here as this game winds down, but didn't want to lose that possession.
No, you've cut it to 1 possession with just a 3-point deficit. You have to at least get a look there, and Taiwo lost the handle. It was a tough pass, the skip pass from Cravens to go over the top. Well, here we go. If I would have told you TCU, they're going to beat Kansas, and then they're going to be toe-to-toe with the co-champs, what would you have said?
Well, I would have said that it was probably improbable, but, you know, they have shown heart and grit and toughness again today, even though they might be tired, probably are tired, and we've seen it from everybody. Balanced scoring, terrific gritty play on the interior. Taiwo with some big shots in there. And you know what? Fisher has done a really nice job. She had that big third quarter with 7 points. That's a terrific pass and another finish on the inside by Ibeh.
10 seed, all-time, as mentioned, 0-8 against a 2 seed. All right, what are you doing here offensively if you're TCU?
Lob pass, it looks like.
To Ibeh. Wow. 1-point game. Williams into Van. Van physical with Cravens. Cravens kept her ground, did not draw a foul. Stocking on the way up with the officiating.
Couple players with 4 fouls here. Van is one of them. Ibeh with 4 fouls.
Oklahoma looking like they're spreading out a little bit, going quasi-zone from deep. Taiwo's off. Ibeh was in on that. You watch Ibeh on that. Glances the ball. And the officials will look at it. Not sure if it's going to stay on this end, but the hustle from Ibeh is at least giving him a chance.
Oh, absolutely. You see that Ibeh, also Taiwo, she followed her shot on there here, but look at both of those players going after the basketball. See that replay?
It is TCU's ball. This play is under review.
I think maybe the left hand of Van. Taiwo did contact it, but it looked like Van touched it again.
Well, that would be good for TCU. Another baseline out of bounds opportunity to score. These close calls, it's so great that in the last couple of minutes of a game, they can be reviewed.
Andrea, it's kind of got lost in the sauce here because so much has happened. How about coming out of that timeout, that inbound play, the alley-oop?
Yep.
That was an amazing pass.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, Regan Peebly's a terrific coach. She's got got an arsenal out there of scorers that may be undersized, maybe a little less skill. You never really know against this high-powered Oklahoma team, but they have fought, executed.
So the official review right now, the call on the floor was off the hand of Oklahoma's Skylar Van. That means possession would stay here for TCU. We are in the bottom portion. You do not want to miss the 3-6. Iowa State Baylor coming up this evening. Winner of that one plays the winner of this one. And I think there would be massive implications, at least in terms of our bracket, were TCU to advance and defeat the co-champs. Oklahoma would obviously hurt their chances to host. It's not going to hurt them in terms of the NCAA tournament, but TCU, it keeps their tournament hopes alive.
Absolutely, that is so exciting for them. And you know, that Iowa State-Baylor game, I'm just going to tell you, Baylor as a 6 seed, it could have been flipped around. Baylor could have been the 3 seed and Iowa State the 6 seed. That's how this season went. But Baylor
After review, the call on the floor is confirmed. Black ball.
So we heard it on the mic and heard it straight from out the officials.
Yeah, Brian Enterline getting his job done, telling us what we need to know so we can let you know what's going on.
All right, so we saw a great inbounds play from TCU last time they had the opportunity. That was side out of bounds. This is underneath. What do they go for here? Coach Peebley is up.
I love that Mana Malauna is tying her shoe to give her team a little bit of extra time right there.
Does get the inbound pass to Taiwo. Plenty of time on the shot clock. 1:23 on the game, trailing by 3. Five on the shot clock, having to go. Taiwo pushes off. Offensive foul.
Really, really good defense right there. They had to, Oklahoma had to guard a little bit of everything on that play. An Iverson cut, a fake screen, a screen on the ball that they iced, and then just good one-on-one defense for Oklahoma, which they have done so well. Kennedy Tucker having to guard Taiwo, and what do you think about that call?
Tough you don't get a shot up, but then also tough it's the 14th foul.
Yes.
So how that affects how you can play this down the stretch is Oklahoma is a very good free throw shooting team.
TCU trapping, getting some more pressure on Oklahoma. This is the hard part. If you foul any number of Oklahoma's players, they are so good at the free throw line.
Taking as much clock as possible. Trying to find Williams. It was wide open. Sent back. Ibeh with the block. TCU back the other way. Ibeh off the glass.
On the differential between the shot clock and game clock right here. So interesting to see what TCU does defensively.
It's about 6 seconds.
At this point, they do not want to foul. I think they want to make Oklahoma take a shot, a tough shot, and have an opportunity to get another possession.
Robertson with Fisher on her. Shot clock at 7. Van finds Williams. Williams loses it. TCU ball. 11 seconds on the game clock. TCU will talk about it.
We saw an exciting game earlier, just a one-point game that ended up in a last-second shot. This might as well, but check out Ibeh's block right here and just giving her team a chance. They're going to review the out of bounds, but Ibeh with a block at one end, a basket at the other end. Huge, huge plays.
Okay, Andrea, 4 versus 5, Oklahoma State against West Virginia. That 2 teams that are tied in the regulars. That's nothing compared to this. This is a TCU team, folks, that comes in 10th seeded. They were 1-17 in regular season play. There's a coach in Reagan Peebley that has announced she'll be stepping down, but obviously not for reasons chemistry. She loves this group. This group came in, they had travel issues. They were 3 hours late to their practice that we saw earlier this week. They come in last night, show great energy against an NCAA team in Kansas that we've been told, per the bracketology, defeat them and march over in this game. Multiple opportunities Oklahoma had to establish distance. TCU has been so resilient.
TCU is resilient. They've been resilient all year long. They just haven't had the wins. And it's not surprising to me necessarily that they can play with any team in the league. It's surprising that they put 4 quarters together, 2 games in a row. So 8 really good quarters. Just some flaws here and there. These next 11 seconds, though, how big are they? And TCU right now looks like they have 1 timeout left. They
call on the floor is confirmed. It's TCU's ball.
They get to use this review as a free timeout, which helps them a great deal. We'll see if they call a timeout in order to advance the basketball, and they do.
I think just a lot of stunned faces in the crowd because they're not sure how is this thing going to end.
Well, It's a full timeout by Reagan Peebly now.
You heard the review as well. The call was confirmed on the floor, so it is off Oklahoma. The timeout will give TCU. All right, Coach Peebly, you talked about the basketball acumen. What are you looking to do here?
Well, you know, they went for a lob pass before. You might run Ibeh off of a lob pass as a decoy. You have some shooters, some slashers on the inside. See who's in the game right now. They don't have any more timeouts, so they need a clean play right here. TCU has possession if there's a jump ball. I like it in Ibeh's hand. She's been so critical for you, but Taiwo Manamaliunia have made plays today. Fisher obviously has a good second half. Cravens inside might be a good look.
All your years watching the Big 12, would this be one of, if not the biggest upset?
Oh, well, I thought, yeah. Have I ever seen anything like this? No.
Okay, so yes, it would.
Yes, absolutely.
10 seeds 0-7 all-time in the quarterfinals. The 10 seed 0-8 all-time against the 2 seed. It's been a great day. We've already seen one buzzer beater. Milton, the game winner, Oklahoma State over West Virginia, but that's the 4 versus 5. This is a 10-seeded TCU team that has an opportunity here with 11 seconds to knock out the co-champs in the regular season, Oklahoma. Ibeh has 22. We've seen some great inbounds plays for her. Manamaliunia will inbound the ball right next to Coach Peebly. TCU does not have a timeout. Got to get the ball in. They do to Ibeh. Ibeh will go on the dribble, up, and it's good.
TCU just continues to come out with energy. Ibeh has been tremendous. It is not over yet, though, people. 4.8 seconds is a lot of time for Oklahoma, who had 3 timeouts, now have 2 timeouts.
Take us through the play.
Oh, well, it looked like a lob pass. So lob pass first, nobody could get the ball in the bounds. So Ibeh comes and gets the basketball. And just again, her sure will of backing down Maddie Williams, who's a pretty good defender. Got a little bit of length on her maybe right there. But Ibeh's jumping ability, her energy, her enthusiasm, this chemistry today for the Horned Frogs.
All right, so Williams today just 6 points, 3 of 7. You have Van, who's 8 of 12. What do you expect to see from Oklahoma?
It depends on matchups here, I think. With Van, I like Van with the ball in her hands. Good things have happened. You always have to keep your eye on Robertson. She can flash to the basket, go backdoor if she's overplayed. And then Maddie Williams, she hasn't had a lot of points, but she had some key points when the game was within 2 before.
Robertson will inbound.
Yeah, it looks like they're looking for a direct pass.
There it is to Van, and that's good.
They're going to add time to the clock. The officials are going to stop the clock, add a second or about a second of time to the clock. TCU doesn't have any timeouts right now, so they're going to take advantage of this review to get a free timeout and draw up a play.
The 6th player of the year, with your star having an off day, knowing, hey, we don't know what we'll get from Williams, has been available, but Skylar Van, first player in league history to repeat as the 6th player of the year, playing like a big-time star here.
Yeah, it's Van. Hey, 45 points off the bench. Why not go to your bench player and the best one in the Big 12? She makes a move one-on-one that is so difficult to guard.
And Cravens has been so good defensively these last 2 nights. TCU, with time added to the clock, 2.2 seconds, but no timeouts as she made the point. With 2.2, defensive substitution probably coming in to guard the inbound pass. Go for 6'4", Kirsten Johnson.
Well, the ball's going to be at this end of the floor, so you can't advance the ball. Obviously, there wasn't a timeout, so that's the big advantage or disadvantage that TCU has right now. Oklahoma's going to pick up full court. They have good length out there at their guard position, some of their quicker players. We have Johnson, KJ Johnson, coming into the game for the first time today.
They will switch that. She will sit down. Robertson.
Yeah, because it wasn't, I'm not sure that substitution was allowed. So Robertson will come back in the game.
Manamaliunia to inbound for TCU. Does so to Fisher. Fisher with the heave. Oklahoma staves off elimination. Wow. What a game, what an effort from TCU, the 10 seed. Skylar Van, Phillips 66, player of the game. She had the biggest bucket, 21 points. The bench was huge. What a game, Andrea.
Yeah, the bench was huge. 45 points off the bench today for Oklahoma. Skylar Van with 21 of those. Ashley Jones also great off the bench in the first half. I saw Peebly's face at the end of that, and she was just, she's been smiling all along, but you have to be upset because your team played so well and had an opportunity today.
There is no reason for TCU to walk off and hang their heads. They played phenomenal, and whatever is next for Coach Peebly, we look forward to it. She was so gracious with the time. Across the course of the week in Oklahoma, co-champs in the regular season, stay alive. Van with the big bucket. Wow.
Well, Peebly has given 9 years of her life to TCU, and she has left with her head up high. Such a tremendous leader. And these guys live to play another day. It almost didn't happen, but they live to play another day.
Kept the dream alive. Look at that conversation. Baranchek breaking down the huddle for Oklahoma. So Oklahoma advances the game winner for Skylar Van. It looked like Ibeh nearly had one for TCU. We have one more piece to round out the semifinals for tomorrow. And we thought the Iowa State-Baylor game would be the best matchup. We've already seen some great ones, including that one. Oklahoma victorious. Come on back for the nightcap. TCU so good in defeat. Oklahoma survives and advances.